We're here next, looking for you, looking for December 6th. How you gonna do it?
I got my eyes on you, Janibek. Good luck.
Well, the pound-for-pound king, Terence Bud Crawford, let it be known who he wants to fight next. That's Janibek, a fighter who's nothing to play with. Matter of fact, he's the boogeyman in his division with Carlos Adams and Lara being there. Now, Carlos Adams, even though he's a champion and top 3 at middleweight right now, he doesn't want to fight Janibek. For some reason, he has been avoiding that fight, even though Carlos Adams is a really good fighter. Remember, Carlos Adams smoked the fighter that Charlo had trouble with within 3 rounds, and then he had a draw with Hamza, a fight that the majority of the public felt Carlos Adams clearly won. So to see him avoid Janibek, that means something. We know Janibek is the goods. Now Lara stepped up. This was supposed to be a unification between Carlos Adams and Janibek, but because Carlos Adams turned down the fight, he turned down a Turkey offer to fight Janibek in a unification, Lara stepped up to the table. Lara is another fighter who's all smoke, but Lara is also, I believe, is 42 years old, so he's getting up there with age. Doesn't mean it's an easy fight for Janibek. Lara is skillful, technical, and he looked good his last fight against Danny Garcia. Matter of fact, he made Danny Garcia quit. Therefore, if you look at the 160-pound division landscape, it's there for the taking. It's between the top 3, and that's Janibek, Lara, and Carlos Adams. If they fight each other, I mean, we already got Janibek fighting Lara on December 5th or 6th, something like that, on Lamont Roach versus Pitbull Cruz undercard. Once we get a winner there, we only one fight removed from an undisputed champion at 160 pounds. And we all know who collects those like Infinity Stones. It ain't Thanos. We talking about a Super Saiyan named Terence Bud Crawford. And Terence Bud Crawford, let it be known, I got my eyes on you, Janibek. Be looking for him. Bud first hinted at it on Instagram by posting a story that had Crawford and then Janibek right after on a flyer, a TV flyer type of thing. This ain't for play. This is for real. Remember, Crawford doesn't just drop names like that randomly. If Crawford mentions your name, then you are on the hit list. Janibek have the opportunity that he's been asking for. Calling out Bud. He wanted to fight Bud. He the boogeyman. Nobody want to fight him. Well, for the past decade, I done seen a saying put terror in boogeymans, and that's Bud Crawford. If Janibek is victorious next month against Lara, and that's not a given, then by April or May, we're going to have an undisputed winner at 160 pounds if Turkey can arrange the winner of Lara versus Janibek to fight Carlos Adams for undisputed. After that, we know Bud fights once a year, right? So he can fight in September against the winner of that fight, assuming it's Janibek for undisputed, breaking his own record once again. Crawford, when he was the first champion to become undisputed in 13 years in boxing, he made that record. He broke that record. He brought legacy to boxing. Then he broke his record by becoming a 2-time undisputed champion in 2 different divisions. First one to do it in the 4 belts era. Outside of Carissa Shield, of course, we're only talking about the male division because everything Bud did, Carissa also did in the female division, and she the only one that did it too. That's why she the GOAT. Well, when it came to Bud, he broke his own record once again when he moved up pretty much 3-weight divisions to fight Canelo for undisputed. The greatest Mexican fighter of all time, they said. Crawford beat him for undisputed to become a 3-division undisputed champion, breaking his own record yet again. He ain't competing with nobody but himself. Nobody caught up to Bud. Nobody did what Bud did yet. And Bud is already looking to break his own record for the 3rd time, becoming a 4 times undisputed champion in 4 different divisions while being a 6th division champion. Yeah, don't forget that also. Bud will be a 6th division champion. He would have had won a championship belt in each weight class. We all know Crawford also defeated the best fighters in each weight class, from 135 all the way to 168. If he's able to come back down to 160 to be the undisputed middleweight champion, I mean, that's history right there. Meanwhile, an industry plant will tell you, Bud got a weak resume. Shut that soft ass shit up, because we all know nobody in boxing right now can stand to Bud when it comes to his resume or when it comes to his ability fighting wise. You name it. Not just now. Bud is already on the GOAT list, top 5 in boxing. That's how great he is. It's already cemented. I mean, just ask yourself, what is Bud doing proving himself at 38 years old while the industry media tells the hopeless fighters that they can cherry pick and do whatever they want after 25 years old as soon as they get a win? Bud at 38, he's still looking to break his own records yet again. He ain't competing with nobody but himself. Matter of fact, Timothy Bradley came out stating that Crawford may not retire undefeated because Janibek is nothing to play with. He can cause an upset against Bud. That's who Crawford is going after. After he already knocked out all of his rivals, from Errol Spence to Porter to Benavidez to Jeff Horn, Amir Khan, Gamboa, Postal. We talking about the fighters that was willing to fight him. He did a side quest against Canelo. Who does that? And now he's finna do another side quest against Janibek? 2 undisputed champions back to back? Man, he better than me, because if I was in Bud's shoes, I would have had to went after Eubanks and then go after Jake Paul. That's the top of money I would have had been on, trying to make some money. Because you got to capture the moment. Why would I let Canelo, who I beat, get the Jake Paul fight and the Eubanks fight in the UK in front of 100,000 fans when I could do that myself? Bud could do that. In fact, nobody earned the right to do that like Bud did. With that being said, drop your thoughts on Crawford calling out Eubanks to fight for undisputed possibly, or a unification. Who knows? Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, by time of year, hey, Janibek might be that guy, man, at 160 pounds. And by the way, Janibek ain't no joke. Oh, no. That is a tough fight for Terence Crawford. I love me some Crawford, man. Y'all already know what time it is. But, hey, I got to call a spade a damn spade. Janibek ain't nothing to mess with. He cold. Yeah, Southpaw, you don't know much about him. That's fine. You ain't got to know much about him. But I'm here to tell you. Speed, power, size, IQ, defense, offense. Dude is cold, man. Footwork, angles, shoot, power in both hands. He a killer. That's what he is. He a damn killer, man, you know? So, I mean, look, if Crawford can go down and face that dude, bro, man, whoo, Crawford's legacy. Now, it might not be no marquee name and a name that the whole world will know, but everybody will be tuning in just to see Terence Crawford's greatness because he's a mega star now. He's the star now, right? Hey, yeah. So it don't matter who Terence fight. Everybody gonna be tuning in to see the greatness of Terence Crawford. So you know what? That damn fight, or if they were to fight, woo-wee, that's a bad fight. And I'm here to tell y'all, hey, just as well as Crawford, hey, Janibek is a bad man, dude. He a dude that he ain't meant to be F with. That's for damn sure. Hey, but you know, if Crawford wants to stay at 168, I see a couple of guys there, man, that, you know, that I think that are our big marquee names. One in particular is Benavidez. Yeah, you heard Mayweather come out and report, say that